Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
And I'm CarnagePanda.
And we are here for Week 5 of Anime Talk Winter 2019. Which, right off the bat, I think we can clearly state was way better than Week 5 of Fall 2018.
And right off the bat, we can also state that you got it correct this week.
Yes! 2 weeks in a row!
2 weeks in a row!
Oh, batting... What's math?
What? No, we don't need to lose our audience here. What are you doing, you madman?
So, we are back. Good week, I thought. Definitely excellent week.
I was really impressed with this week.
Some things shifted in the order this week. Some things pretty hard, and some things stayed firmly where they're where I think we can say with 95% accuracy where they're going to stay the entire season. But yeah, it was an interesting week. So without further ado, because I have nothing else to preamble into this, we're just going to start right with our newest feature, the This Week in Anime!
Wow, you caught me off guard there.
Ha ha! Ha ha!
Yeah, so I went and watched Mawaru Penguin Drum last week, and this show is fucking amazing.
Let me tell you how I know. He watched, what was it called again? Penguin Drum?
Yes.
Penguin Drum this week. I think I have about 30 screen caps that he sent me over Discord about every scene that happened with penguins in this show. And some with naked women.
There are no naked women in the show, actually.
Okay. Well, you labeled them NSFW, so...
Because you're usually at work when I send them.
That is true, actually.
So, it's just a precautionary measure.
I see.
Now that Discord actually allows you to put spoiler tags on there that completely blocks everything out.
Which I'm very thankful for,
which
actually.
Which is a new feature that launched last week.
A feature I'm very thankful for. So tell us about Penguin Drum.
This is the most amazing show I have watched in the last, since we've been doing this.
Oh, really?
Outside of Madoka Magica.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
This is the show that I've been waiting to watch, and now I'm probably going to regret that I've watched it in between Victory Gundam, which we'll get to there someday. I'm just going to feel so bad that I don't have a just mind-blowingly good show to pick me up from the abyss that has been things like Double Zeta and Victory Gundam.
So, is this kind of anime going to spoil you for other animes?
Yeah, it actually is. It's that good. And
what is the premise of this? Before you've been hyping it up. What is the premise of this show?
The premise of this show is that there's these two brothers living with their younger sister.
All right.
And she dies. And
well, okay.
Then her body is taken over by an entity.
Mm-hmm.
And tells them, you two need to go find the penguin drum. And they're like, the fuck?
Okay.
And she's like, not even clear about it. She's like, yeah, this person has the penguin drum. Probably.
And what is their reward for finding it?
That'd be spoilers.
Ah, okay. So, they just... This entity in their sister's body just tells them to do a thing, and they just go, okay!
Well, the reward that she promises is that she'll bring their sister back to life.
Ah, okay.
Which she kind of gets brought back to life, and their quest to find the penguin drum is to keep her alive.
Ah, I see.
And this has everything that you could ask for. You got comedy, which you could verify.
Yes.
You got drama.
I can't verify that.
And for some reason, this is the sexiest fucking show that has no sex in it.
It's something. I think I'm quoting one of my responses to you. It's definitely something.
Which I didn't actually show you those screenshots. It also has some amazing.
Thank God.
It also has some amazing cinematography. The shot composition and everything.
Woo!
I love this show.
The shot composition of penguins looking up skirts. Woo! Oh.
No, it's not the penguins looking up skirts. But, yeah.
And looking at nudie mags.
And looking at nudie mags. If you ever wanted to see a penguin looking at nudie mags, this is your show.
A very specific audience, I think. They were going for a very specific demographic. But you know what? They probably found it, to be perfectly honest. Are you a penguin?
No, but I wish I was. After watching this show.
There we go. So, anything else you want to tell us about Penguin Drum?
Go watch it now.
Okay, so that was This Week in Anime! And with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our list where we rank our favorite, rank our 5 anime we're watching.
It'll
from
be okay, you can do it.
least favorite to most favorite. I don't think any of them were bad this week, but
No,
some
none of them were. None, like,
Yep.
like
Some
you
were
said last season, we hated week 5 except for Zombieland Saga.
Yeah.
This season, they're all great.
Well, some definitely didn't live up to expectations or didn't really deliver this week. Even though they were still good, they weren't as good as others. So we're going to go ahead
I think I know what show you're talking about.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into our list. And coming in at number 5 is... Damn it, I wrote because we jokingly call it Murder Force. I actually forgot what it was actually called. Magical Girl Spec Ops Asuka.
Also known as Murder Force.
The show itself calls it M Squad, but, you know, whatever. He claims Murder Force rolls easier off the tongue. But this week we pick up right where we left off last week. Asuka's fighting some Russians. Because that's what you do.
Yeah. Tell us about these Russians.
These Russians are sadistic, creepy, have magical powers, and really love torturing little girls. But you know what? I think what they don't like, and this is just off the top of my head.
Is it the number 2?
No. I think that what they don't like is being chopped in half.
It's the number 2.
Or things divisible by 2. Because by the end of this encounter, there were 2 terrorists, and now there are 4 half-terrorists.
So I do have some complaints about this.
Please.
The animation is not that great.
It's kind of all over the place.
This is the same studio that did Hanebado.
You mean, little girls sweating all over the place,
Yes.
the anime?
Yes.
Do you mean with crazy good animation
Yes.
and sweat?
Yes. Lots of sweat. Copious amounts of sweat.
This is the same animation studio?
Yes.
Did they cut their funding?
Maybe. I don't know.
Did they trade out teams for like the B team, like they do with the Call of Duties? For this season, they traded in a
this
crappy
may
team.
be the case. This may be another team and blah 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 whatever.
This is Team B here, and he's right. The animation is really all over the place. I mean, there are times where it actually is kind of good.
I mean, this is a show that by now should have a lot of action, but it's not really well animated.
Yeah. So, Asuka dispatches these Russians with... I mean, they try to make it look like she's trying, but she dispatches them very fucking easily. By, like, using up, quote-unquote, most of her power. By turning her little talon dagger thing into a sword that cuts through fucking anything.
Yeah, that guy did not have a good day.
You're saying he did not have a happy good day?
He did not have a happy good day.
And then his buddy had an even worse one.
Yeah, the Russians were like zero threat by the end of the day.
Nah.
Asuka actually gets out of this battle without a scratch.
No, she got a scratch. She got like waterboarded a little bit.
Oh, yeah, actually, I forgot about that. But
that's gonna be a little bit of complaint on my end. They clearly show that the water spirit when it wraps around their head, goes into their body, and starts punching their organs. Why didn't it do that to Asuka? It just wrapped around her head and then was just sort of like,
I've got
good
nothing
enough.
there. I've got nothing.
So, and then she like easily dispatches it by, I guess, heating up her dagger thing.
Oh yeah, because she pushes it inside the... I can't even explain this scene.
Yeah, it's the fight's sort of like, hey, we're making up rules as we're going along. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? And it's sort of... The fight was fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's like, in this world where we haven't set limits or boundaries of what they can and can't do yet, it's just sort of like they're like, hey, because we haven't set the rules or boundaries, we're making shit up as we go along.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's kind of bugging me there. I mean, but then we went and Warner's gets royally fucked up.
Yeah, Warner's is not having as good of a time as Asuka is because...
No. She is obviously not the DPS of the party.
Well,
or the tank.
She's got some interesting abilities, like turning things into sludge and stuff.
Yeah.
Like acid or whatever.
Yeah.
And her healing abilities are apparently unstoppable.
Let me just take that arm that we didn't show us taking and then
this is another complaint because I did skim over the manga. Yeah. In the manga, they show I don't know, that Teddy Ruxpin little thing. What's his name?
Teddy Ruxpin.
Their little mascot.
The good guys or the bad guys?
Yeah, the good guys.
Sochu or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. They show him carrying Nozomi's arm away, and War Nurse has her body. She stole her or whatever. And they don't show that in the anime.
No, they do not.
There's another part that they don't show, but I'll talk about that when we get there as well.
Okay.
Well, they do show it, but...
Yeah, so War Nurse heals her up. It's just like, what? Torture scars and cut it off arm? No fucking way. And just heals them all
she
up.
just fucking reattaches her arms with gauze bandage and
then uses
gets rid of the little...
Remember that shitty ass spray on band-aid shit they used to have?
It's a fade spray.
It's fade spray. For fans of Resident Evil. And then she proceeds to get wrecked by Abigail, who magical girls out, and two Halloween class, I think.
Yeah, two Halloween class, whatever that means.
Yeah. So she, after getting wrecked by one, sort of then proceeds, like, she tries to fight Abigail, kind of forgetting that the other Halloween class monster's there. And every time she, like, blocks a move from Abigail, the fucking Halloween class monster just will deck her from, like, the side or above her until she's just, like, beaten down in a crater. And
now, I might have skimmed over this a little too fast in the manga, but they do have a magical girl transformation sequence for
Abigail?
For the Scissor Girl.
Abigail.
Yeah, Abigail. I don't know why I can't remember her name. Good thing I have Featherhoof here.
I'm useful for something.
But this is broadcast on one of the two channels that broadcasts anime porn, ATX. So I'm wondering if in the Blu-ray, I mean, I'm not even going to look at this when it comes out because I'm pretty much one and done with the anime shows. As soon as I watch the episode, unless Featherhoof's like, I need a screen capture, I don't really go back.
Yeah, because it's me that goes, I need a screen capture. I'm the one who wants those inserted. Right.
You should see all of the messages he sends me all the time. I need all these screen captures from blah 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 blah.
Do I need to put our logs on this fucking video?
Yes.
Most of them are from you. Fucking liar. So
anyway,
yeah. So Warner's is about to get her leg chopped clean off.
Yeah,
until
these are some really big and sharp scissors.
Yeah, I made the joke is like, oh, so that's what happened to the main character Kill la Kill after she got both halves of the scissor. She just became fucking psycho and joined this world.
That's not what happened. For those uninformed, he has not watched all of Kill la Kill.
No, I got to the mother-daughter bathing scene and went, nope, no, I'm out.
Yeah, there's just something about finger banging your daughter that just...
Whoa! White Queen and moving on. No. Moving on. I'm not gonna... And so to her rescue comes the M Squad.
Yeah, so they have these special troopers that they didn't foreshadow at all.
Is it the VR troopers?
I
Are
hate you
they
so much.
VR?
I hate you so much.
We are VR.
You're gonna start talking about the Beetleborgs and you,
Big bad Beetleborgs?
you're just wrong.
Fuck you. That's your. You get that as a revenge. Fuck you.
Revenge.
But
yeah, these special forces guys come in and they're like, yeah, we got the armament to fight these Halloween classes. So they blow the guy away, and he doesn't stand much of a chance at all.
That was one hell of a sniper rifle shot.
Yeah, that's
the Halloween class monster took.
Yeah,
that was one fucking hell of a sniper shot.
Yeah, that sniper got him pretty good. He wasn't getting back up from that, but
well, when you explode, it's kind of hard to get up from that. It's got unless you're a Resident Evil bad guy, it's kind of hard to get up from exploding.
You may have a point.
So,
but Abigail cannot be hurt by the bullets because her shield is stronger.
Yes, but she can't advance either. They've got her pinned down.
Kind of pinned down because they're trying to waste all their ammo on her.
Until Asuka shows up and goes, "Fuck your fingers." I love. Actually, I kind of did dig this line. She's like, "You were so happy and cheerful when you were cutting off Nozomi's arm. I didn't think you'd be bothered by losing a couple of fingers."
I want to complain about this scene too, because if you blink, you miss this.
You absolutely do.
And in the manga, you can't miss it.
Well, yeah, because it's a still shot.
It's really detailed and everything. All these fingers are flying all over the place. But in the anime, somehow they have zero problem showing Nozomi getting tortured last week.
Yeah.
But a few fingers flying off.
Nah, skip past that. No. But to be honest, I'm not bothered by that. I'm like, for me, the less torture porn, the better. But
well, I think this is where I read up to.
Okay.
This ends like chapter 8 or whatever.
Okay.
So I think this is where we're caught up to where I got to.
Okay. So Abigail is getting wrecked. She is getting fucking wrecked until the queen shows up in a mask and looking exactly to a T like the former, leader of the, Magical Girl Squad.
I wonder if...
And, Asuka going, "Why do I know that person?" After just last episode showing a person that looks identical to that, but with a, Cobra Commander mask
Who is
on.
that? I know that person.
I
just can't place it.
I know those boobs, those hips, that hair.
Those boobs.
That hair, that figure. It's just... That Cobra Commander mask is throwing me off. Ugh.
This is the one thing about this show, and I can't remember if it's in the manga, is that your qualifications for being a magical girl are having gigantic tits.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I'm complaining about that, and I just remembered that they actually do have that field up that prevents enemies from figuring out who they are. Their real identities.
That's true.
So maybe that was it. Before somebody comes in, the devotion to accuracy department comes up.
You guys don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's probably it. But us as the audience, I was just going, who could that possibly be?
Yeah, who is the queen?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be like the reveal that's going to go. Oh, I knew that. So she comes, whisks Abigail away, and they proclaim the operation a success. We saved Nozomi, who now has severe PTSD.
There's another.
Holy fuck!
There's another part of the manga. This part of the anime is completely different because when the queen shows up and puts them in the cube starts shrinking.
Oh, they do it like they did with the one dude when they was doing the numbers.
But Asuka breaks out of it.
Yeah. This one, the
cube's just there. They leave. It's gone.
Yeah. So Nozomi, they come in, Asuka and Rapture and War Nurse want to know, how is she? He's like, hey, she's fine physically, mentally she's got PTSD out the ass. I mean, even the small, like the teeniest little safety child scissors will send her freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, she wakes up and just... oh my god, magical girls, get him out of here. Oh my god, I'm so scared.
No, she's like clawing at her dad, trying to get away. It's one of those things that's just really hard to watch. This anime has a lot of really hard to watch scenes in it.
I didn't like this scene.
So they go...
Mostly because after she has her fright fest, she just passes out.
Well, that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is actually like, hey, I can, Warner says like, hey, I can take away her PTSD, and, but it would require, erasing a week of her life. Like a week of her memories, rather.
Yeah, and then they go into this really detailed description.
Yeah, it's almost like a biology lesson. But what bothers me is just the whole, hey, PTSD, we can cure it. Let's not have character development or character drama. No, we don't want that shit. We want to just erase it entirely and go back to the status quo. Because PTSD's not that big a deal in real life, right? No. Whatever.
Yeah, you do have a point here.
I hated that.
This was a tremendous drop ball.
Yes.
And...
what the fuck? Why? There's so much you could do with that. I mean, to show the horrors of PTSD. They even started with Four Eyes. Showing her she hasn't been back. She hasn't been back. She hasn't been back in like the past 2 or 3 episodes. I don't remember.
They're just like, I don't care about her name. She's just Four Eyes.
I don't care about it. It's not that I don't care about it. They haven't said it in the past 2 or 3 episodes because she hasn't been there. So it actually bugged me the way they treated PTSD in this episode. It's just,
just hand wave it away.
Yep, just PTSD. Oh. Woo, gone. So that actually legit bothered me in this episode. That's why I took this episode, put it all the way down there. I mean,
you mad?
Maybe it plays a factor later in the show. Maybe it's gonna show by showing Warner's has this power. It's going to show, that played a thing in the past, or maybe she used it before, so they have to introduce it. But it just bugged me the way they treated PTSD in this episode as, we can just, who needs it
maybe
anymore?
You do have a point there because Asuka's like, I know that person.
Mm-hmm. No, because in the last episode she had the flashback with the blonde-haired leader of Murder Force.
Oh.
So she knows exactly who she is. It isn't like she forgot.
It's just like, she put a mask on, so I have no clue.
She's female. She literally is female Cobra Commander. She's in blue. She has a silver mask over her face. It's like it's Cobra Commanderess. So that's pretty much where the episode ends. I mean, they have a little bit about how the Japan Defense Force or whatever is basically going to keep Nozomi. Instead of removing her and putting her on her fake identity or whatever, they're going to leave her there and use her as bait to draw out the bad guys, thinking the bad guys will come after her again. And then maybe they can do something. So basically, they're going to use Nozomi as bait.
Yeah, so the government is filled with dicks.
They really are.
Which may be a parallel to real life.
Yeah, basically. So that was Murder Force this week, or Magical Girl, Spec Ops, Asuka. Like I said, I had severe problems with the animation. We both had problems with the animation. It was just so hit and miss. It was... And that just the way they were just like, PTSD? Nah, that's not who cares about PTSD?
They should have left that in.
Yeah. So that was my problem. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I was not a fan. I mean, let's be honest. If I could take away someone's PTSD, would I? I would, especially if it was like a daughter, to spare them, the pain and whatnot.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But as a story piece for this, it just sort of like the way they presented it was just sort of like, who cares?
It's like they have magical powers and they can actually really just do anything.
Yeah,
there's no limitation to what they can do. So
yes, that's another problem with the whole show in general. They haven't showed the limitations of what the girls can and can't do yet. So far, they've been able to do fucking anything and everything. Whatever the writer needs them to do this episode, they have the magical power to do. It bugs me.
I think Asuka is more well-defined than Warner's is.
Granted.
Warner's just pulls everything out of her ass.
Well, here's the thing. Asuka goes, transforming my weapon into that sword that cut through anything, used up all my power. And then she went on to then proceed and wreck Abigail with, again, no ease, with like no problem, as if she didn't use up any of her power.
She came from behind, man.
I know, but it's still, it showed like she wasn't.
She had her attention on the other people, and Asuka just came behind, and she was like unguarded, flat-footed.
All right, well, we're gonna move on. We've gone on too long.
Yes, we've gone way too long.
So we're gonna move on. That was Magical Girl Spec Up Asuka this week. At the bottom of our list, it was fun to watch. I had problems with it. He had problems with the animation. And that's all we got to say about that. So we're going to go ahead and move right along to our next entry.
And this week on Rising of the Shield Hero, kind of a recap of last week.
It was almost basically the same episode, only with birds.
Or chocobos.
So what happened? How did this episode start off? Where did Naofumi and Raftalia do first? Besides getting, pissed off at the king again because he's a douche nugget.
So they go back to the slave trader.
Well, first, no, they get their reward first.
I don't care about the reward.
Well, I like that scene, though.
Yeah, so they get the reward from the king.
Well, he's not going to give him a reward. He's like, because for the expenses of removing your slave mark. And
well, he rewards the other heroes handsomely.
4,000, 3,800, 3,200.
Yeah, and then he's like, and for you, Shield Hero, I'm going to give you 500 silvers.
The minimum wage. He even points out, and we shall give you the minimum wage.
But for costs associated with removing the curse mark that makes Raftalia a slave, we're taking this money away.
Is the King Shatner? What's with the pauses?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do from now on for any guy who's just a douchebag villain.
Well, but why?
And you see,
why I love this scene is because Sword Hero and Bow Hero actually come to Naofumi's defense.
Yeah, but the King's like, that's just like your opinion, man.
It really was. It's like, but like in the end, he gives him the 500 silver and just like, get the fuck out of my sight.
He's like, these guys have a point.
I hate
you have 500 silver. And then Raftalia is like, yeah, now we don't have to waste time here anymore. And the King's like, but.
So now let's continue with where you were going there.
Well, they also had the scene with the mystery queen.
Yeah. Some queen of another, like, I called it the French Revolution kingdom.
This kind of reminded me of the village hidden in the rain in Naruto. But then it's actually different because there's a bunch of
smokestacks and industry everywhere
and stuff. Guardian,
they looked like French riflemen, like on the guard, posted on the stations.
It's like a steampunk place inside of this fantasy world.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got, it's kind of like Secret of Evermore, I guess, where they got different eras within this same fantasy world that you get transported to.
Yeah, and it seems like they have a what would you call it? A vested interest in keeping the Shield Hero alive.
Yeah. They don't say much about it, but
they have a vested interest in the Shield Hero.
Yeah, she employs a bunch of thieves, ninjas.
I'm gonna say ninjas, lady ninjas.
But there's not much about that at all.
Ninja ladies.
And then we go to the slave trader's place,
which is stupid as.
Which Raftalia's like, can you just put the slave mark back on me, dude? And the dude's like, okay. And then Naofumi's like, this is just a stupid idea.
Well, he goes, why? It's just it says what does it say? Like a symbol of the trust I have.
A symbol of my faith.
Yeah, that I have in you.
Yeah, a symbol of my faith in you. And he's just like,
if you say so. His words are just, if you say so.
Like, it's obvious that she's just gonna follow him anyway. You know, she doesn't need the slave mark to receive orders.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Like both of us were just looking at each other, like me, him, and Naofumi at the same time. We're just sort of like, what? Okay, move it. Let's move along. Let's just accept this so we can move along.
But he also decides to buy a monster egg because
a gotcha party member.
He's like, this is just a gotcha game, isn't it?
It's like Raftallia's like, what's a gotcha game?
They don't know the horrors of gotcha games in this world, apparently.
Yeah, it's like, Raftalia, you're better off not knowing.
Yeah, so he buys this egg, and
which has at the lowest end is guaranteed a 20 gold piece bird to carry.
no, it wasn't a 20 gold piece bird. The dragon was the 20 gold.
Oh, it was like, what, like 5? It was
I don't remember how much.
It was like 2 gold or whatever. Fine. It was guaranteed to get some money back, but not a lot. But at the highest end, 20 gold piece, it could be a dragon will come out of this egg. So he's like, fuck it, I'll gotcha game this, and buys a bird. It hatches and we got Boko from Final Fantasy V, only pink.
I do have an issue with this because
Please.
if you've ever watched a bird hatch out of an egg,
Yeah, you did make the comment that the was it the writer or the animator's never seen a bird hatch before?
yeah, they don't hatch with feathers on them because they can't.
Well,
And it takes a couple weeks for them to grow their feathers out and to be able to start flying and everything.
Yeah, this
thing's just like it pops out. It's like got wings, got feathers, everything. Flies right on top of his head.
I did love that it actually pulled a what was the black dude's name from 13?
Saws.
Saws. It pulls a saws, just goes right on top of his hair. Well, he's a little too big to pull a chocobo chick thing, but it's cute. It's adorable. And then we proceed for like the next 6-7 minutes to just
This is like the remainder of the episode.
Well, no,
because they're raising the chocobo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The next 7 minutes is like no voice, like only music, like no voice, no sound effect version of them raising the chocobo. Or the Philo, what's it called? Philophilus or something like
Whatever.
that? Or which they just named Philo. He just names it Philo.
It's a chocobo.
Well, its name is Philo.
Literally, the writer has been spending a lot of time playing video games,
and
especially Final Fantasy, and you can see the influences here. It's almost straight up thievery.
Almost. Because there were no rideable dragons in Final Fantasy. Unless you count Final Fantasy 14, but that's not really... But anyway.
And this is kind of where the episode starts to get really weak, because this is where Miney comes back in and starts douchebagging out.
Well, yeah, because they've been raising Philo in the town of Loot, where the one they saved during the wave. So that's where they've been spending their time helping them rebuild and raising Philo. And then Loot shows up and Mine shows up and
Mine and the Spear Hero show up.
By royal decree,
we're gonna be douchebags. Apparently, the Spear Hero is gonna be the lord of this place. I don't know why. What possible reason there is?
Nope.
Maybe there was a reason in the light novel.
Well, I think because during the reward scene at the beginning, the sword and bow hero actually point out that how he was Shield Hero was the only one to defend the village of Loot. So I think they're trying to take away the village of Loot from Shield Hero.
Oh, maybe.
So they're specifically, or trying to harm him in some way by, doing this.
Yeah, and they come in and they're like automatically, we're gonna put in these really oppressive taxes on you.
What was it, like 40 gold to enter? Was it 40 silver?
Yeah,
or
like 40 or 50 silver to enter or leave the village.
It was 40 to enter, 50 to leave. It was like the worst what's that way cover charge in a bar ever.
And the Shield Hero's there, and he's pointing out, he's like, yo, you guys are fucking insane. You guys don't even know what the economies are like around here.
I love that shit.
They cannot afford this.
But he goes up, he goes, hey, Spear Hero, how much does it cost do you even know how much it costs to stay at the inn here? He's like, and he's like, yeah, it's one gold? Silver?
Yeah, 1 silver.
It's like 1 silver, and that's with, accommodations and food included. Actually, you're asking them to pay like 100 times it would cost, a month or something like that.
I do want to point out that this is a lot more grounded in an economy than a lot of other games that I've seen.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of other games, you can just raise funds like it's nobody's business.
Yep. So then they're like, the mine is all like, you people are gonna disobey royal decree? Oh, you motherfuckers! And she's actually gonna, it looks like she's about to charge up magic at them. And then the ninja ladies show up.
Yeah, the ninjas show up and give her a letter, and she's like, She reads it and she's like, I'm mad.
Yeah, I'm mad, Bo. Shield Hero, you asshole. This is all you're doing. If we challenge you to a race, and if Spear Hero wins, he becomes lord of this town. Shield Hero's all like, fuck you?
He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want any of this.
It's like, why? And the people then beg him, like, oh, please, please, don't let Spear Hero become our lord. He's like, fine, but don't blame me if whatever happens if I lose. Which, I love a Spear Hero comes over to, like, mock Shield Hero, and,
yeah.
fucking Philo gets so pissed at him that she kicks him in the crotch so hard, sends him 50 feet in the air and 100 feet back.
Yeah, his balls kind of got evaporated there.
I can't even imagine what a Talon kick would feel like, and that, especially from a bigger than an ostrich-sized bird. Ugh. I love the like, you know, in the last episode we were talking about Murder Force, the art not being up to scratch. I love the animations and the facial expressions of Philo. Philo is drawn so expressive, so funny.
So, at this point, it's just Chocobo racing.
Cue the Chocobo racing music! Because from this point out, it is literally a 3-lap race of Spear Hero on Philo. I'm sorry, Spear Hero on a Durgan, Shield Hero on Philo.
And this is the remainder of the episode.
I think this is like a good 6-7 minute chunk of it right here.
And of course, Miney's cheating.
Yep, she has like her men causing sinkholes, the slow spell on Shield Hero, speed up spell on Spear Hero. It's not a good time.
I mean, honestly, I don't understand why she had to cheat, because they're already going through bad CGI, so...
Oh, that was another problem with this episode, too.
So he's already suffering enough.
Every other shot, if you pause the episode, you can see a really badly CG'd Naofumi on the back of a semi-decent CG Philo. Philo's not that bad, but it's obvious. Sort of like with Goblin Slayer, where the CG wasn't that bad but obvious.
Yeah.
But Naofumi, if you pause it and look at Naofumi on the back of Philo and those scenes, it's like, oh.
It's like, what's going on here?
That's bad. Oh no. But you can tell because those scenes where you can see Naofumi on the back of CG Philo are like, just like that. Like they're over before you can blink. You pause them and you just go, oh, you cut corners there, didn't you?
Well, even despite the fact that they're cheating throughout this race, Naofumi still wins.
Yep.
By a hair?
By a beak?
By whatever.
And then after they win, Philo turns into Fat Chocobo. Because reasons.
Fat Chocobo. I hope, maybe, Fat Chocobo comes from the sky and squashes some enemies. As I'm just saying, they've pretty much ripped off Final Fantasy wholesale in this episode.
Might as well
just go the whole way.
Or it acts as the party's bank.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Final Fantasy 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, the earlier ones where you could call the Fat Chocobo to store your items.
Yeah.
Because you had limited inventory.
Yep. So Mine and the Spear Hero hunched over, still holding his crotch, they're all like, sugar, we didn't lose, we let you win. Like, they are childish to the extreme on this.
This poor Spear Hero, he's like swallowed Mine's whole thing, hook, line, and sinker.
Yep. So what I really liked about this episode, well, actually, let's finish the episode before we get to that. So they're like, okay, we gotta give you a reward. Oh, we gotta give you a reward, Shield Hero. He's like, I don't want your money. Don't want your money because I don't want rumors flying around that, oh, the Shield Hero stole our rebuilding effort money. And he's like, we would never say anything like that. No, we promise.
We'd never say anything like that.
And Philo gets his attention and like looks over at this wagon, a covered wagon. There's like, it's like almost like something like pilgrims would ride in. It's all beat up and kind of broken, and I guess they take that and they go off with Philo being the one who pulls it. And I guess Raphtalia's motion sickness as motion sickness.
I guess they stopped at Taco Bell and Raphtalia got something that just did not agree with her.
No, they stopped at Taco Bell, and she's like, I'm not feeling that good. Maybe I got something else to eat. It would settle my stomach. Can we stop at Chipotle on the way too? I mean, and so they stop at Taco Bell, followed by Chipotle, and then
That's really gonna tear your insides up.
And then they wash it down with some chilies, and
oh boy.
And Raphtalia can't take it, and they have to stop, and she just begins to.
Poor girl. She should have known what she was getting into, though.
So, I mean, obviously they didn't show the part where she shat her pants because of all that shit she had in there, but she did vomit. And they lay down for the night, and Philo, I guess, undoes herself from her harness, and comes over to like cuddle with Naofumi, to which his final words before passing out, even though he's supposed to be on watch, he just passes out. Your feathers are stuffy. Nah. And then he hears this softly, just this little girl's voice go, meanie. And when he wakes up to Raphtalia screaming, he looks down and he's got the face of a little girl in his crotch. Little girl with wings. To which even he's going, the fuck! And she's going, the fuck! I don't know the fuck! And she's like, looks up and goes, good morning, master. I'm hungry. Tee-hee! And it cuts.
Yeah, this is something that can only happen in anime.
Now, if in normal anime, they'd just be like, little girls and, face, crotch deep in face.
Let's just stop right there. Just, nah. You said normal anime. No, I don't want anything to do with this.
Hey, you've told me about some animes. Apparently, it's the norm now. Okay? You've told me about some animes that have horrified me. Apparently, this happens all the time. So, yeah, they're a little confused by why there's a naked. By the way, she's naked, 3 feet tall, naked, and with wings, little tiny angel wings on the back.
So the chicken turned into a little whatever.
Turned into a cherub, I guess. We're gonna Philo turned into a cherub.
We'll see what happens next week.
So, what I liked about this episode, I liked that. Because you can clearly see S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero starting to come out of his shell a little bit. Like when he, because the people are thanking him and they're giving him presents for helping their relatives over in Loot. And it's like, he says thank you to them and he stops to realize, that's like the first time I've ever said thank you since the whole mine incident. He had forgotten what it was like to have human compassion and niceness. You could tell that he realized, oh, that's what this feels like. Huh. And I actually kind of like that, even though mine keeps showing up to be a douche nugget. But I mean,
she really needs to stop. I don't know what the king, the princesses, and the chancellor's deal are at this point. I think they've made the point that they don't like the S.H.I.E.L.D. hero. They don't need to keep, antagonizing him.
But they do, and it's like at this point, that's one of the things I'm kind of starting to not like about the show. It's like, okay, we get it. Can we at least get a reason? They're just harping on this one point, and they're not doing anything with it.
I mean, I feel like this episode kind of slowed down the pacing a lot.
It did.
And it's like when I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, and I just wanted to stop playing the game altogether and just go spend all my time at the Gold Saucer.
Yeah.
And play all the games there.
Yeah. That was this episode. It was the Gold Saucer episode, where it serves no purpose, but it's a thing to do. And that's what it was. This served a purpose. It served a purpose to introduce Philo. But it was not well paced. Like I said, first we had the montage that skips several weeks, or at least days, I don't know. Raising Philo really quickly. He's like, come on, we need to show that Philo grew up into a chocobo. And then it just sort of like grinds to a halt to do this chocobo race. So it was kind of all over the place. So that's why we knocked it down pretty hard. I'm still loving the show. I'm still having it was fun. It was a fun episode.
I mean, I don't think it's a terrible show. It's just okay.
Yeah.
What happened this week?
Yeah. So yeah, that was Rising of the Shield Hero. What we liked, what we didn't like. So with that, any final thoughts?
Nope.
Okay. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move right along to our next entry. And this week, our number 3 is Kaguya-sama. Possibly the best episode they've had so far.
Yeah, this is a... I was actually busting out laughing this week. I love this episode.
And it is absolute proof, I tell you, that A, Chika is best character, not just of the show, I mean of the season. And B, she is a master troll. So, what did we have this week? This week, the first skit was, do you remember when Shirogane had to give love advice to the boy? Well, and they were like, next week we'll talk about this girl who needs love advice. And the girl was like, what? And it never happened? Well, we got it this week.
Yeah, this week we get it because she wants love advice from Kaguya, and Kaguya really bad at it.
Well, what's kind of funny is she doesn't really get to dole out any advice at all. She kind of like starts to like go into like ways of thinking. It's like, well, why don't we do this, that, or the other, and think about the goods and the pros versus the cons and this, that, and the other. But before she can get to any advice giving, our favorite character shows up, Chika, as Love Detective Chika.
Yeah, she's like, why are you so winded, Chika? And she's like, I wasn't. I was here the whole time, but I had to make a dash down to the drama club to go get this hat so that I could, play this part. And then I came back really fast.
So, this is the girl who... The boy that Shirogane was advising, this is that girl that he was after. And she wants advice on how to break up with him. Because, like, I guess they don't really talk. They just sort of, like, look at each other awkwardly.
Yeah.
So Chika comes in to help her decide whether she actually likes or doesn't like the boy with these grand schemes, like these great, like, exaggerated motions, and it's like, what is the greatest enemy all people face in this world? It's like, you have to find a common enemy so that your relationship can build. And what is that enemy? Society! She like makes a correlation between Romeo and Juliet and fighting against the society that doesn't want them to be together. And it's sort of like, okay, you are taking this way out of proportion, Chika, but continue, please, because I'm enjoying this to no end.
I wonder if she was talking about the Shakespeare Romeo and Juliet or the anime Romeo and Juliet, because the anime one just goes off the rails.
You know what? Let's assume the anime one, because this is anime. And at some point, it's like, Chika's talking to this girl, this no-named character, but at the same time, Kaguya keeps thinking about herself with Shirogane. It's like taking the same advice Chika's giving to her, but applying it to Shirogane. And it's funny, like she asks them, like, imagine the person you're in love with somebody else. How does that make you feel? And the girl's like, oh, that makes me kind of jealous and it hurts a little. Meanwhile, Kaguya is like, like she starts fucking hulking out.
She's about to go into rage mode over this.
Like they actually take like, you ever hear somebody when they put a sound effect on a keyboard and then they hit the key over and over again? They do that with Kaguya's grr.
I can see your grr right there.
Don't look behind the curtain. He's looking at the sound wave. So, and it starts. What was it like? She teaches. What was the other one? What was another big exaggeration she made? I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Well, I thought this was just gonna be a kind of one-shot thing when they were doing the dance sequence for the ending in episode 3.
Oh, yeah.
Where she put on the hat and Love Detective, and when she showed up in this episode, I was like, what? What's going on here?
I like that she's becoming...
Is this going to be a recurring thing?
I hope so. I like that she's becoming more and more of a main character.
She is the main character.
Well, as far as we're concerned,
it was just misnamed.
It's Chika-sama.
Kaguya-sama, this is Chika Secretary.
So, they give her advice, she walks out. I think it was like the results of today's results, Kaguya loses. Because she actually realizes she actually is in love with Shirogane.
I didn't understand why she lost, though. I guess they just have to assign a winner or a loser?
I guess.
For reasons?
Then we get to our second skit, because Shirogane was
great.
Best skit. This was the best one. Shirogane is Okay, to say that he's not athletic is like saying that the moon is not very warm there. Because, he, very dramatically, he's for some reason he's bouncing a volleyball like a basketball somehow, and he raises it to serve it, and slaps his own self in the back of the head so hard, he sends himself tumbling and flying forward somehow.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
Okay, please.
The moon's very hot and cold.
Fine. You know what I meant, though. Damn it. Fucking accuracy.
Yeah, the
police.
The scene where he slaps himself in the back of the head when he's serving the ball was just fucking hilarious. I was like, how do you even manage that?
He managed. And it shows that he's, like, even though he used to work for a moving company, he bikes 15 kilometers every day, and there was some other thing they showed his physical prowess, but he sucks at coordination, period.
And the whole thing is that they're having, like, gym class next week, and he wants to be at least average at volleyball because he has an image to maintain.
Yes.
And he doesn't want everybody to know that he absolutely sucks at volleyball.
Yeah, I think they showed it.
Or anything, actually.
They showed him, I don't know if it was like in his own head or if they showed a flashback of him on the ground. They called him he looks like a dead alpaca.
Yeah. You're like, man, that guy looks like a dead alpaca.
So Chica comes in, because she had forgotten a thing.
Yeah.
And he's all
She'd forgotten a thing to do the thing.
And it shows that she's not, she's not like fantastic at volleyball, but she can at least get the ball over the net.
I like how he's freaking out that Chica saw him, and that fucking that piece of music that they play, which is like, oh my god, what's going on?
Because she does a very basic serve that barely makes it over the net. It barely makes it over the net, and he's like, oh my god, that was perfection! That was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And he's like. So he reluctantly calls upon her to train him. So they do. It's a fantastic training montage. She's like, maybe you would do better if you wouldn't close your eyes. And he's like, I don't close my eyes. And he's like, watch, I'll serve it with my eyes open. And goes to serve it, misses it entirely. And she's like recording it. And she's like, look, your eyes are closed every time. He's like, oh, it's almost like a Speed Racer moment. Like, oh, I never knew that doing this thing would cause me to lose the race, and if I lost the race, then all of a sudden this thing.
But she does eventually, get him to open his eyes while he's doing the thing.
And he serves it, and he's able to serve the ball, like, incredibly well. He's, like, serving it, and, like, it's, like, hitting the ground with, like, force, and it's just, like, fuck.
This is like a scene out of Haikyuu, because it's almost exactly like how they play volleyball in that show.
So then she's like, oh, okay, well, thank God we're done with that. It's like, because she's like, you can see her, she's worn out, she's got bruises on. I don't know how and why she has bruises and scuffs all over her.
Reasons?
I guess. And he's like, okay, Chica, you've taught me this far. Now you need to teach me how to return and block shots. And she's like, no! She literally says no, but without the word no.
And she does it anyway, but they don't show this part?
No, they just cut right to, like, 1 week later. And
1 week later.
It's now volleyball time, and he's, like, whipping the floor with everybody and high-fiving people like, yeah, I'm so awesome.
He's the best player on the team.
Yep. And it goes back to Kage, and she's like, oh, she's, like, getting all flushed, like, watching, like, oh, my God, he's so amazing. It's like, she looks over at Chica, like, she's like...
I love Chica, man.
The final line, yeah.
This is the best fucking line of the show.
But she, like, looks over at Chica, and she's, like, got bandages on her, and she's, like,
her
busted
hands are
up.
fucked up.
Yeah, she's like, was like, Chica, what happened to you? He's like, I can't remember if she responded to it. He's like,
she's like, points at Shirogane, and she's like, I raised that boy.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, Kage's like, you're his mother?
Yeah, this has been the best episode so far.
That was the best skit of the best episode so far. But then we got our final skit, which I think was the weakest skit.
This was not comedy. This was more strategery.
This is episode 1. This is basically, they went back to episode 1 because they're like strategically planning their moves to like go back and forth at each other. And it's raining. It is raining so bad.
The whole thing is it's raining.
and Kaguya wants Shirogane to offer his umbrella. Shirogane wants Kaguya to offer her umbrella. So they both pretend they forgot their umbrella. And now they're at an impasse.
Yeah, so now they have to scheme to get the other one to bring out their umbrella.
To admit they lied.
Yes, so that they'd be seen walking together because this is a sign of love.
Oh, that's right. The reason she's doing this is because the summer vacation season's almost here, and she wants, basically it to be, Shirogane to be marked by seeing, everyone seeing them together,
marking them like dogs.
Yeah, so that if they see
this
them,
is my territory.
Like, so that Shirogane is marked so that he won't be taken by any other girl. So they both try to call each other out on the lie, which they both are lying. They both have umbrellas. And it looks like Kaguya, she's got the upper hand. She's about to go for the final blow.
She did more research.
Not only did she do more research, she caused the whole series of events. Just like with the movie Ticket from the very first episode, she made sure that her servant's car would have a flat tire. She made sure it was a day that Shirogane would have taken the train as opposed to not his bike. Made sure, like, she put all of this into motion. And she's like, the final blow, I just have to say this one thing and it will totally call him out on his lie. And with this dramatic music, Chica melds out of the shadows. And she goes, oh, you both forgot your umbrella? Here, I always keep a spare one in the thing. You can have it. And Kaguya has this look on her face like, fuck you,
she's
Chica.
Like, this girl is always fucking up my plans. I almost had it.
So she tries to, like, just give it to Shirogane. Like, here, you just take it. You take it. And Shirogane's like, we can share it. Let's go. And they walk down I love it, because the moment they start walking out, and they're just side by side, they're walking down with the umbrella. Rain stops. No more rain. But then they continue to walk hand in hand with under this umbrella past a character I guess we're supposed to care about, or at least someone who's going to be introduced.
Yeah, he's a character that's been in the opening and has not been introduced yet.
Okay.
So, next week?
And the winner of this was a tie, I guess. Yay!
Can they bring back the dancing sequence?
I want Chica to have a little idol animation, like a little idol scene at the end of every episode now.
Yeah.
Over the credits. That was amazing. I mean, Chica is best chick. Right, Raftalia in a close second, but Chica is definitely awesome chick of the season.
Yep.
At this
100% agree.
At this point, much like Sister Crone in Promised Neverland, I'm finding myself like just every week going, what's Chica going to do this week? I want to know what Chica's going to do this week. So,
are you still worried about this show?
No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but I do feel a little more confident in it because they're not harping on the one thing. They keep bringing it back to remind us, oh yeah, that's the premise of the show.
Yeah.
But they're not harping on that one little topic, and I really enjoy that.
There's a bunch of other stuff going on.
Yes. It's sort of like Joshin-chan in that way. But instead they actually have one overarching theme that they're keeping with, instead of Joshin-chan's pure randomness. Oh wait, no, that had a theme too. She was always trying to kill that one chick, but they went away from that really fast.
Joshin-chan had themes? What?
That was one thing where she was always trying to kill the one chick who she was enslaved to.
Yeah.
Well, that was supposed to be the theme, but then they moved away from it really fast. Whereas this, every episode they do at least remind you of the theme. So I'm actually not as worried about Kaguya-sama as I was. It's still not my favorite of this season, but this episode was really, really good and had us both laughing really hard. Any final thoughts on Kaguya-sama?
No.
Okay. So that was Kaguya-sama, a really good episode, possibly its best this season so far. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move right along to our next entry.
Today on Dororo, stuff happens.
Oh, okay. And end of that entry.
And let's go on to the next episode.
No. Dororo. They are finally doing what I wanted them to do.
Yes, they are.
I was complaining that
that Hyakimaru is just too overpowered.
No, not that. He has lived his entire life minus these things. wouldn't suddenly getting these things fuck him up? Well, finally it has. He can't stand his own hearing. He hates it. It's driving him up the wall.
You know, I'm glad I don't remember this period of my life when I first experienced hearing.
You mean
outside
the
of
day
my
you were
mother's
born?
wombs. Womb. Oh, wombs, okay.
Wow. Was your mother, was it like a labyrinth inside your mother you had to claw your way through? What the fuck?
May have been. More on that in another show.
White Queen, moving on. Continue.
Yeah, he gets kind of fucked up by this because, like you said, he can't stand it. It's overwhelming to him.
Yes.
Everybody else is like, yeah, it's just hearing, man, and he can't like block out. I mean,
well, he can't discern like what's an important sound to pay attention to versus what's another sound because it's all just sound to him.
I mean, you just ignore babies crying. That's one sound that you just ignore. So,
well, he's never had to deal with that. He doesn't know how to deal with it.
This would probably be a traumatizing experience for him. He's like, oh my god, this baby's crying.
Well, remember the first sounds he ever heard when he got his hearing back was rain and a woman crying.
You know, rain is not that bad of a thing to be the first thing that you hear.
No, but apparently it was fucking loud to him because we talked about last week where when he got his sound and they did the sound of the rain, I almost jumped for my remote to turn it down because it was fucking loud. So, well, it's like, what was it?
Well, you know, Dororo and Hyakimaru are chilling there, and then all of a sudden, one of the demons shows up, or
just
demon.
Just a ghoul. They call them ghouls now, apparently.
Yeah, a ghoul shows up.
It's a bird. It's a big old bird.
It's a fucking bird. It's like the bird from Naruto that Pain summons.
Oh, okay.
And just dive bombs. What the fuck ever.
Well, the thing is that it's like causing tree branches to fall and leaves to kick up and all these other things, and Hyakimaru keeps focusing in on these sounds instead of, his demon sight. It's the sounds are confusing him.
Yeah, he's getting really confused and he's not performing as well as he should be.
Yeah.
So he kind of gets messed up in this fight. He gets injured. But luckily, our 5th edition Bard shows up and...
Well, no, first Dororo actually proves himself useful.
Did he?
Yeah, he started calling, on your left, and he would go on the left to block, or is he in front of you or above you? He calls out a couple of directions where the ghoul is coming from.
It still was not good enough because he kind of got fucked up in this battle.
He did. But then...
5th edition Bard shows up, completely demolishes this flying bird.
One hit KO, by the way.
One hit KO.
He did flurry of blows, which I didn't know bards could do, and just wrecked him.
And well, it's a 5th edition Bard, so he could do anything.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But somehow he's a priest? I'm calling bullshit on that. He's a bard through and through.
Well, that's just what Dororo calls him.
And after he kills the bird, and I thought at this moment that they were going to try to cook the meat of the bird. Probably a bad idea to eat this meat.
Yeah, I don't think you want to eat demon meat. That doesn't sound like a good thing you'd want to eat.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
He's trying to coax Hyakimaru to get used to his hearing.
Well, he just goes up to his face and is like, get used to your voices, dumbass!
He's like, get used to it! We'll scream at you!
Well, that was the thing I didn't actually...
Okay, I overdid it there.
That was one thing I didn't really, put into place there at first. Yeah, he wouldn't know what spoken language even was. Like, if you never heard anything in your life, you wouldn't know what spoken language was.
This is very true because when a deaf person speaks, they don't enunciate it and say it the same way we do.
Right.
It sounds really off.
Right. Well, even he's been blind too, so he isn't like he's been able to watch people's lips move or anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of the tools.
Nope.
So, yeah, you might have a real point here. He doesn't understand the language that's being spoken.
Nope. But he does know what he does know he likes women singing.
He does like the singing.
He wakes him up in the next morning and he follows it to a girl.
He finds a girl.
In the water.
Girl get.
And she's like, oh shit, you got a fever and you're sick and shit. I'm gonna take care of you. And Dororo and OP Bard show up, and she takes them to a place where she's taking care of children that have been horribly mauled.
Yeah, horribly mauled. Some of them are missing limbs.
Some of them. All of them are missing something.
The one kid is so scarred by this war that's going on that he has balded.
Except for a tuft on the front of his hair.
I don't understand this kid.
He has the hair around the back and a tuft in the front, but it's all bald up here. Wait, you sure that wasn't like little kid me?
No, because I know you when you were a teenager and you actually had hair.
Did I?
Yes.
Do you believe him? Let us know in the comments below. Do you believe there was a time when I had hair? News at 11. Anyway, so she's there talking about how, I provide for the kids. You know, I go over to the samurai and I like perform jobs for them and they give me money.
Jobs.
And when she said jobs, we all knew exactly what she meant. And they give us money and food. So, again, they don't show it, but you know what's coming. But we'll get there. We will get there. So, they're there. A war's going to break out. They're actually closer to Hyakimaru's family than he's ever been. Because one of the two warring nations...
A war's about to break out. And the whole reason that the war's about to break out is because Hyakimaru's dad's just like, you know what, this other feudal lord, fuck this guy.
I'm going to betray him, because why the fuck not? And it started a war. They haven't actually started fighting yet, but they're on opposite sides. They're got their swords drawn and they're ready to go any day now. So Priest gets it in his head. I'm sorry, OP Bard. OP Bard gets it in his head. He's like, okay, you know what I need to do? I'm going to see if I can find a way out of here. If I come back, then cool. If not, that means I found a secret passage and I'm out of here. Bye.
I'm gone. You guys, you can just deal with it yourself.
So Hyakimaru, when the girl comes back, like she had gone to go do jobs for the samurai, and she comes back, and she realizes at first she's like, "Oh, you're blind. Oh, okay." She tries to take him in like she would a blind person, and when she goes up the stairs, she almost like reflexively closes her thing. And she's like, "I almost feel like you can actually see." And then Dororo explains what his sight is, what it's actually like, and then she's like,
"Yeah, he can see your soul." And
then she like covers herself out more. She's like tries to.
Oh man.
He's like, not
protect myself from the X-ray vision here.
So he then begins to try and speak for the first time, but like without speaking, because he doesn't have vocal cords. He's just going. He's like pointing at his mouth and like going, and then pointing at her. And it's like he's Dororo points. Oh! I think he wants you to hear your singing again. And so she begins to sing for him. And he's like, you can see him just like visually, you can see him sort of untense. He's just sort of like,
yeah,
I can deal with this hearing stuff. I like that. And then of course every time I love it because every time Dororo starts talking, you see he goes, "Ugh,
stop it, Dororo! I can't stand you."
But like she just starts singing. She's like, "Oh, I'm not really that good." And he just keeps asking for it until she starts doing it. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, I can deal with this.
So OP Bard comes back and he's all like, I found a place for you guys to live where even if a war does start, you won't get caught in it. And she's like, awesome. He's like, not that awesome, actually. It's guarded by an antlion. Which is straight up an antlion. Have you ever played Final Fantasy of any strike? It's an antlion from Final Fantasy. There's a lot of Final Fantasy reference this week.
Yeah.
So Hyakimaru just goes, cool to fight? Got it.
He's like, demon? I'm gonna go murder it.
I'm not fully healed and I'm sick, but I'm gonna do it. So he and OP Bard proceed to go and try and fight it. And meanwhile, nighttime falls and girl goes off to do her... Mio, I think her name was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mio.
Goes to perform jobs for the samurai. She finds a couple samurai and goes, I'm looking for work.
I'm looking for... Yeah. She finds work.
Oh, yes, she does.
But she did not know.
She didn't know that Dororo was
following her. And Dororo finds out the horrible secret.
She's been, prostituting herself for monies and food. It looks very much like rape, as two of the samurai are like holding her down as the third one goes to town on her. But again, one of those scenes where it's like, oh Jesus Christ, this is hard to watch. But Doro appears to not have a problem watching it. Doro, it might have been out of shock, I don't know, but what's happening with Hyakimaru and OP Bard?
So they find the antlion, and the antlion does antlion things.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. It seems like the antlion's spinning around in its nest.
Well, it wasn't spinning around. It was like doing this, like pulling sand in constantly.
Well, it just feels like this is just a great waste of energy. And another, there's a caveat I have with this because...
Okay, alright.
Hyakimaru and OP Bard are standing at the top of it. They're not, like, inside of it.
Yes.
And it just drags them right in.
Yeah, that made no fucking sense. So, they proceed to battle it. Do they win?
Yeah, they win.
Did they win?
Yeah. Because he slayed the demon, and the reason you know this is because he gets his voice back at the end.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he just finally let out a scream. Okay, he got his voice back.
Yeah, he got his voice back.
Okay.
And
the reason we know he got his voice back is because he screams at the top of his lungs.
Because he lost part of the leg he got back.
Yeah, remember the very first body part he got back? That right leg? Well, about a third of it is gone now. Because the antlion went, nom 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 nom. Leg nom. And
maybe OP Bard can fix it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're gonna have to go find a prosthetic guy.
Or a war nurse.
Where they're gonna drag it out of, like, half digested out of Ant Lion's body.
Yes.
And just put it on. Well, yeah, she probably used the spray.
Just get it with a fate spray. Fix everything.
So, that's where the episode cuts. And finally we find out Dororo's not as fucking OP as he's been the past 4 episodes.
I would hope not, because Dororo doesn't do the fighting.
I'm sorry, Hyakimaru is not as OP as he was the past 4 episodes. He, I did kind of wonder.
Yeah, he got knocked down a few pegs here.
Like, he's like, okay, he's getting all these body parts back. What happens if he starts losing them in battle?
Well, we've got a very interesting quandary here now, because he has lost part of that leg that he got back.
And that was graphic when they panned down to it and his leg shredded.
Yeah,
and it's like
he's not having a good time right now.
The muscle tissue, the skin, the bone itself is shredded. There's no foot. There's no bones of foot. It's gone. It's like I hope you weren't eating anything before you watched that, because it was actually kind of graphic. So I'm happy. I'm very happy with this episode, because we finally showed Hyakimaru getting his senses back would fuck him up. And it does. It fucks him up pretty hard. And the cons of this episode. Are there any cons for this episode? Besides,
I already discussed the cons I had about it.
Antlion?
with the antlion scene, I was like, what?
And it's just, I don't know why they tried to hide it, what Mio was actually doing. Because it's like feudal Japan, a girl went, the samurai, the same guys who, cut the arm off of a little kid because it was there. It's like she was getting jobs from the samurai.
Right, this is feudal Japan. There's only a few jobs that a woman could do. I guess there's a few jobs that a man could do, is like becoming a samurai, and by becoming a samurai, you become a douchebag.
Yeah. I mean, apparently, there's really only, a couple ways you can, this place is very separated by gender. You go, if you're a dude, you become a samurai and an asshole. If you're a woman, you become either a caretaker, or you get jobs from the samurai.
You get jobs.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I even find it hard to talk about, to be perfectly honest. It's hard to just say. It's like, it's cringy to just talk about.
It's just the reality of living in a feudal society.
Yeah.
That it's a terrible place. It's a terrible social structure.
Yeah, it's the people. I love people who romanticize, the medieval times or feudal times. It's like, are you retarded?
Are you out of your mind?
Really?
Do you know how this stuff actually worked back then?
Yeah.
It was not that great.
Yeah, literally. If you're a dude, you're either a samurai or you're gonna get killed. That's pretty much your only jobs as a dude in feudal. You know, you're either going to be working in the farms and eventually get killed, or you're going to be a samurai and be a douchebag.
Like the last episode we had, where the feudal lord killed the architect because he was afraid that he was going to betray him.
Exactly. It's like, ugh. Anyway, so that was Dororo this week. A fantastic episode. I love, again, problems with the antlion. That aside, and again, I didn't like that they tried to hide what Mio was doing when, as the audience, you know what was happening. I don't know, I just hate when they try to hide obvious things. But I love that finally, after regaining helmet, his nervous system, his, his leg, his skin, that's pretty much it. It's his hearing that finally fucked him up. I was like, I thought the nervous system would finally fuck him up.
It's fucking him up right now.
Oh yeah, he feels pain. So, yeah. I'm waiting to see how, because this was a part 1. They said
this is like a 2 or 3 whatever parter.
There's a multi-part episode.
Multi-part.
So I cannot wait to see how this plans out next episode. Fantastic episode, but we have one episode that was more fantastic-er. So let's go ahead and talk about that one. And coming in this number 1 this week, as if there was any doubt, is Promised Neverland. Which, I'll be honest, coming into this week was the one episode I was like, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what happens. Because it's just the way it ended with Norman calling Ray out as the traitor. I was like, how? How did he come to that conclusion? How did he, how is this going to play out?
He's like, true? I've got you by the balls now, Ray.
So, Norman calls Ray out, and Ray's at first like, silly, how could you? Me? No, please. To which he's like, look, I set a trap. That's right, I set a trap to call out the traitor. But I set a trap for 3 people. I told you, I told Gilda that was in the second floor bathroom roof. I told Dawn that it was underneath my bed. And I told you that I told them that. So, I actually told
Gilda... I baited you, and you fell for it.
I actually told Gilda it was in the library, and I told Dawn it was in some other place. The kitchen, maybe. I don't know.
The foyer with the candlestick. And...
So, yeah, it wasn't... I told you it was a completely different story. And I didn't want to believe it was you, but it's you. You asshole. To which Ray then goes, "Aw, shit, you found me out." He's like, "Ah, shit."
It's like, "Ah, shit, you found me out, but I'm turning the tables on you now."
He does, too. Actually, they flip the tables on each other, like, back and forth a couple of times. It's actually kind of it's an interesting chess match to watch between the two of them. And it turns out Ray's been Isabella's spy since he was 6.
Yeah, he's been spying for a long time.
Yeah, he's been spying for 6 years.
So, yeah, the initial theory about him saying, if I survive, he knew. He fucking knew.
The entire time he knew, but was pretending he didn't. The whole, like, when he was playing shocked. Like, what? They're killing us and shipping us out? All a play, all an act.
This is debating the show. You don't know what debating is?
No.
You need to look it up then.
Okay.
You go on Twitch and you don't know what debating is.
No. Anyway, so Ray basically spells it out. He goes, look, I've been a triple agent. I've been spying for Isabella and keeping her informed of everyone's movements and Sister Crone's because I've been trying to figure out how to keep you and Emma alive so that we 3 can escape. That was my whole plan this entire time. And Norman's like, oh, what is Norman? He turns the tables on Ray, and he's like, well, here's the 3 conditions. You're still gonna be our ally, and you're gonna do these 3 things. And then Ray's like, you know what? I call your bluff, and I raise you these chips.
Here's my Sharingan.
He gets like creepy eyes. Oh, he gets like this. And also, they break format, like art format, to give him this creepy, like when like in poker when someone's like, I got it. They show their hand and I got it. And he is so happy that he's like, okay, here's how it's gonna go. Okay.
He's like, Norman, you try to fuck with me, but I just don't give a fuck.
Here's how it's gonna go. I'm going to keep helping you guys out. I'm going to keep giving Isabella fake information. And you, Norman, you're going to lie to Emma. He's like, about what? You're going to keep pretending that we're going to try and save everybody. But in the end, when it comes, clinch time, you're going to, with me, we are going to abandon everybody except for Emma. It's just going to be the three of us. And
Norman's like, and
Ray's like, and you can't refuse me because I got you by the balls. Because I have all the cards. I know how to destroy the tracking devices. I know all Isabella's plans. I know what, I have been getting, as rewards for my service, I've been getting trinkets and information from the outside world. And I have the most information out of all of us. You need me, and if you don't have me, you can't do shit. Ha ha! It's just like, wow.
So I'm not sure who came out as the actual winner in this battle of wits.
But then they have a telepathic argument.
Yeah, they have this telepathic argument where neither of them are speaking. Ray has left the room.
Ray is standing in front of the wall of children's pictures. Norman is sitting on his bed, and they have facial expressions as if they're still arguing. It's like,
this is such an intense battle.
They're having a telepathic argument.
It has gone beyond just verbal.
It's so fucking weird. Actually, it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
But at the end, Norman cracks a smile, and then Ray frowns.
And then Ray goes to Isabella.
And he's like, Isabella, I blah, 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 blah with Norman, and you should have never brought Sister Crone here.
And she calls me, I was like, well, if, Ray had planted the bunny plush on the table so that Emma would find it, coaxing them to go find out the truth.
Yeah.
Like, he was the one who covered up for them when they got back. So he's the reason why they haven't been found out. He's actually been covering their tracks every time they make a mistake. But he's hell-bent on just leaving everybody. He said maybe Dawn and Gilda, but everyone else, fuck them. So he goes to Isabella. She's like, well, I wouldn't have had to bring Sister Crone if my watchdog could have, I don't know, kept a watch on somebody.
Yeah, there's some really heavy 5-dimensional chess going on in this show.
Do you ever play Metal Gear Solid, and at some point, after a couple of games, you start going, wait, what the fuck? That's all encompassed in this one episode. It's like, wait, who's playing who right now?
And then, we get the next day because Norman had a nightmare.
That was one fucked up nightmare. Holy shit. Talking about graphic scenes? Whoa.
And he's apparently having this nightmare because 2 kids are on top of him. And they're like, get up, Norman, get up. You're the one who went there.
Anyway, so they reveal it. Like, Norman's going to try and keep Ray's secret, and Ray just outs him to Emma. He goes, oh yeah, I was a spy.
Yeah, it was me all along. So I feel like this was a JoJo reference right here, because there's that meme within the JoJo community,
okay,
where Jonathan's trying to figure out, who messed with his girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
And Dio just shows up and he's like, it was me, Dio! Ray's just like, yeah, it was me!
Fucking Dio. God, when isn't it Dio? It's always fucking Dio. But Emma just sort of goes, at first she's, and then goes, okay, but you're still helping us, right?
Okay.
Goes, yeah? Okay, cool.
And then she's like, yeah, she starts giving the rape faces.
Yeah?
She's like holding Ray by his shoulders, just giving this face like, yeah, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna fist your ass.
She doesn't actually threaten him, but she does give him this look that does clearly state that.
Yeah, it's like, and I think Ray got the message. He's like, okay.
So the three of them, Dawn and Gilda, get together. Apparently, remember when we saw Emma last episode and she was like, counting. She was like doing steps and counting the the distance. And they were like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, nothing." Apparently, she was counting. Like, wait, if Isabel's always disappears every day at 8:00. Where the fuck is she going? So they count up. They're like, wait, there's this one wall in the hallway upstairs connected to Isabella's room, and there's no room there. It's just this empty stretch of wall, and Isabella's room is not that wide. So that's why she was counting her steps to see, okay, there's definitely a hidden room over here.
So at this point, we find out that the orphanage is Spencer Mansion from the first Resident Evil.
It absolutely is. They're like the little diagram they're drawing out. Not only does it look like the map from Resident Evil, but it's like showing it must be between here, like putting X's and lines and
like. I'm not even making this shit up either, because they're like, I think it's Ray and Norman who are like, yeah, let's just not fuck with this. It's too dangerous. If there's a hidden passage back there, somebody might discover it, and it's just not going to end well. What was it? Gilda and Dawn, who were really gung ho about this,
who still believe that Connie's alive and can be saved. Dawn wants to go now. He wants everything to happen now because he believes Connie's still alive.
We've got to save Connie.
Yeah. So they
go into Isabella's room. And of course, it's exactly out of a Resident Evil game, because they move the bookshelf aside to reveal a hidden door
that needs to be opened with the diamond key.
And it's in another place in the orphanage, behind another locked door that you need the heart key for.
Yes, which you can't get past until you go down to like the basement and see this one cutscene to reveal this one type of zombie that will be on the other end and. So that you can get a weapon to fight that type of zombie. And,
I am going to be 0% surprised if that's what next week's episode is.
But as they're like, oh, it's locked, what do we do? The door to Isabella's room starts to open. And they have this look of, oh my god! And then the episode ends.
Yeah.
The cliffhangers in the show.
Who's coming through the door?
I'm willing to... It's going
to be Ray.
It's either going to
be Ray, Norman, or Emma.
It's going to be one of the protagonists, or it's going to be Sister Crone.
I'm not going to bet on Sister Crone.
I don't know. I'm willing to bet it might, because the reason I think that is because we haven't seen Sister. We didn't see Sister Crone once this episode.
Yeah, Sister Crone was not in this episode. She was mentioned by Ray, and that's all the screen time she got.
Yeah. I think it's going to be her also trying to break into Isabella's room to try and get something on her. Because, Isabella is trying to get something on... Crone is trying to get something on Isabella.
Well, it could be, and I guess they'll, hide under the bed or something.
Yeah.
While Sister Crone is having a crazy episode within there. She's like, oh, I found a secret passage!
I don't know how they're going to close up the secret passage before,
They're not. They're not. If Sister Crone comes in there, they're not even going to worry about that. They're going to go hide under the bed or something. And she's like, a secret passage? Happy good day! So
that was Promised Neverland this week. A fantastic episode.
This show is killing it.
It absolutely is. The 5-dimensional chess, as you put it, or 5-dimensional, what was it, chess?
Chess.
Yeah, the way you put it is so fantastic. I love when Norman's all like, I got you by the balls. And Ray's like, no, I got you by the balls. But by that logic, I have you by the balls. No. Because by this twisted logic, I now have you by the balls.
And then it was like, I don't care about balls, but I will have your ass.
It was simply fantastic. I loved the 5-dimensional chess in this. I love the way, because one of my favorite things ever is when somebody's so sure.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, this is how it's going to go down. And then the second person goes, I like your logic, but here's how it's going to go down. I love that shit. It's just, to me, that's just like, mwah. Oh, I love it. Oh, it tastes so delicious. I wanted to knock it a few pegs because no Sister Crone. But the way it was played out and watching the double and triple and quadruple crossing back and forth was just like, yay! I love it!
Since I know this is only 12 episodes, and there's no way they're going to cover the 100+ chapters. I'm definitely going to read the manga after this show ends.
Oh, same here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to know more about the show. I want to see. I want to see the deviations too. I want to see where they deviated, things they changed, things they left out or added. I do want to see how they changed that. Oh, this show is so compelling. It is absolutely compelling. I can't. It is the Banana Fish this season. It's something I want to see every week.
Honestly, I think this is better than Banana Fish.
Absolutely. Actually, I'm with you on that. Oh my god. So that was it. Any final thoughts on Promised Neverland this week? Anything about the animation or drawing styles or anything?
My final thoughts are that this show is awesome. Mm-hmm. Go watch it right now.
My final thoughts are...
If you're not watching it, I just don't talk to me.
There is one thing I did not notice until today, though.
What?
Because you showed me this YouTuber by the name of Giguk.
Oh, yeah.
The show where everyone's face is 50% chin.
That reminded me of the Dororo episode last week where they had the Jay Leno character in it.
But it is true, like especially it's emphasized with Dawn, where it's just like, you know, Dawn's face ends and chin.
Chin.
But now I can't unsee it. Giguk showed it to me. Now I can't unsee it.
I didn't see it, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
So now that's it.
I mean, I couldn't see it over Ray's faces.
God, Ray's faces. This, like I said, they broke format this episode. Actually, they didn't really. It's just there was Sister Crone. There was a Sister Crone this episode. They took her face off and put it on Ray. That's what happened to Sister Crone.
It's just like,
Jesus. Yes. It's like
I see you.
It's like fucking that Nicolas Cage John Travolta movie, Face Off.
Oh,
I want to take his face off.
I want to.
You want us to take his face off? His face.
His face.
Off. That's what they did. They did that to fucking Sister Crone's face was taken off and put right on Ray because it was creepy. So that was Promised Neverland, and that was absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, our number one this week. So with that, we're going to have to end this episode here. So that was week 5. A vast improvement over the week 5 of last season.
Vast improvement. Wow, this is blowing that out of the water.
Yeah. And an absolute great season so far. I don't think I've had a season this week where I was just like, So it's you. I mean, there was Kaguya-sama that one week.
Well, yeah, the episode 2. I was not feeling that episode at all.
I don't know. We still differ on that. I thought it was a great episode, but it was definitely its weakest, but it wasn't bad by any means. But I'm having a lot of fun this season. It is so much fun. I was disappointed with Shield Hero this week. We went into it with, me going, he likes to point out when the word isekai comes up, but I'm loving Shield Hero for some reason.
Is this the best isekai that ever isekai'd?
I can't say until it's finished, but so far I still say there were better isekais, but it's not that this is bad. Kaguya-sama is definitely doing away with my fears. Murder Force is Murder Force. I mean, it's hard to watch, and it's just... How did you put it? It's like an 80s movie?
It is an 80s action movie. Without the cheesy gore.
It's very graphic animated gore instead.
Yes.
And Dororo was bouncing all over the place, and with like sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's like, that felt almost predictable. And Promised Neverland just doesn't disappoint at all. So we're gonna go ahead and end this episode here. It was a fantastic trip. I can't wait for next week. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.